What's up, guys? So I wanted to do a kind of a remake of my how to reinvent yourself video, because in the first one I talked about it, but I didn't really give any like super clear directions on as far as action goes, on actually implementing it, or going about doing that. So like I said in my first video, you can literally reinvent yourself overnight like that. Okay, it's all based upon deciding that that's what you're going to do and doing it, and sticking to that. So, it's easier said than done. We may start off like that and our intentions are well, or that's what we think we want. And then, as motivations, go away, we get a little more lax and we get a little more lazy. Unfortunately, our motivations, usually aren't supported with discipline, and we end up leaving or pushing to the side what we wanted, and eventually we're right back to what we've always been doing. So it's all in the mind. Deciding is something is a very powerful thing. It's very important that you understand that when you decide, you're not contemplating it still, you're not thinking about it or wondering or curious. It's like when someone has decided on something, there's no convincing them of anything else, right? Like if someone thinks they know something, then that's what it is. It doesn't matter where you could talk to your blue in the face, nothing's going to change what they think, right? It's the same thing. So understanding that your mind is a very powerful thing, you have the ability to use it in a powerful way, and one of those ways is going to be manifestation. Now, everything in life is centered off of our thoughts. The energies in which we put out are the things that are going to reflect back to us. So what you project is what you will reflect. Okay, it's so important to understand that. That is how your entire current life and your reality have came about. Okay, some way or some form or another, you are fully responsible for the life that you're living right now. Whether you feel like you're a victim in a situation, I can understand that. A lot of times we do feel, a victim of our reality. However, unfortunately, it can be pretty hard to accept this, but at the end of the day, everything comes back to self. We are fully 100% responsible for all of the things that are going on in our lives. Yes, things happen that you cannot control, that are out of your control or that other people do. However, still comes back to self. Whether you put yourself in the situation, to be in the situation, whatever the case may be. So that's a hard part of it, of even recognizing, that maybe your life needs to change. So first thing is going to be, you got to be able to sit down. If this is what you decide that you want to do and you want to change your life, and you say, hey, my life is not reflecting back to me what I feel is a fair representation of myself or what I want in life, like the things that are going on in my life or the company I keep or the situations that I'm finding myself in are not a true reflection of who I am or what I am or where I'm going with my life or what I want people to perceive about me, right? Or how I want to feel about myself. Okay, of course, that's the biggest part. So the number one thing you need to do when you want to reinvent yourself is you're going to have to be honest with yourself. And that's the hardest part. Realizing that there is a problem is the very first step. Realizing that there is a change that's needed is the hardest part. So if you're there already, pat yourself on the back. Be proud of yourself, because a lot of people will never get there, like ever, and they'll just settle for the rest of their life living a shitty life that they didn't mean to live, intentionally. So being honest with yourself, allowing yourself to sit down with yourself, to give yourself some solitude, to allow yourself to do that inner work and say the things that are hard to say to yourself. Ask yourself the hard questions. Where am I going with my life right now? What is it that needs to change? Like, what is not going right in my life that I would want to go in a different way? Or, ask yourself the hard questions about yourself, your life, your experiences, your the company you keep, the type of people that you entertain, the things that you do on your free time, the things that you do when you're alone, the way that you carry yourself, all of these things, okay? Ask yourself the hard questions. Like, what is it about your life that you would change? That you could change? That would affect your livelihood and affect your life, right? Now, like I was listening to Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson. He's one of my favorite speakers. But he says that he's like, ask yourself that, like, what is it in your life that you could change and that you would actually change? And one of the things that I thought made sense to me and that really clicked for me was, he said, think about the way that you spend your time, right? All the little things that make up your life, the things that are mundane, the things that are just habits and that you got to do anyway all the time, that you spend, the things that you do every day, no matter what. You wake up, maybe you jump on your phone right away, maybe you watch TV right away, maybe you yell at kids right away, whatever the case may be. Everything that you do on a regular basis every day that you don't even think about anymore, like brushing your teeth, and you get dressed, and you eat breakfast, and you do this, and you take your kids to school, all these things, right? If you think about it, he's right. Like, the majority of those things that are mundane and that we think don't really matter actually take up more than half of our lifetime. If you think about it, the things that we do every day without thinking about it actually take up majority of our time. So if you don't know where to start, like he said, I think it's a great idea. Start there. Until you know exactly what you're doing, until you got a plan, start there. Start with the little things. Start changing the little mundane things that you think are irrelevant. Because everything in life could either be better or it could be worse. Right? So if you know that every day when you wake up and you go brush your teeth, but you never make your bed, or you change and you never put your clothes in the hamper, things like that. Start with the little things if you're not sure on exactly how to get going, because what you're going to do with that, just like when, if you have any kind of block in life, whether, like say you're a writer and you can't figure out what's right, you got a block, or you do music or whatever, just start doing it. Even if you just, if you just start doing, it's going to build the momentum. So if you don't know exactly what you're doing, start with the little stuff that's easy to change, that you could see, that recognize that you do every day, that you can start to make changes in a better way, and it'll get the ball rolling for the rest, in my opinion. So start there if you're not sure, but it's really important that you ask yourself those questions. What could you change? What would you actually change? What direction are you currently going, and what direction is it you want to be going? What do you want your life to look like? It's important to sit down and literally, write those things out. Write out, if you were living your best life, and you were the best version of yourself, what does that look like for you? Not to the world, not to your family, not to your man, not to whoever. What does that look like for you? What is the best version of yourself, living your best life, happy, prosperous, abundant? What does that look like for you? Okay, and putting things, pen to paper, that really helps to solidify things and put that energy out there, and help it to come into fruition. So I definitely recommend that you do that. Now my step 2, acknowledging and accepting the necessity of change in your life. That's that decision part, allowing yourself to say, hey, something's not working here, or things need to be going a different way for me, or whatever the case may be in your situation. Accepting and acknowledging that is huge. Okay, allowing yourself to contemplate, to do that work inside yourself, to become aware of these things, and to accept the things that you cannot change, and the knowledge of knowing the ones that you can, choosing your battles, choosing what's worth your energy, what's worth your time, because you can't fight a battle if you don't know what you're up against. It's like going to a sword fight and you brought fucking water balloons. You know, you want to make sure that you're tackling things head on, efficiently, productively, and, you know, getting down to the nitty gritty, because when it comes to your life, what's more important than being focused and making sure things are done correctly and with 110% of your energy? Nothing. Like, nothing is more important than you in your life, because you are your life. You know, without you, there is no your life, you know? So, now, the third step is going to be maybe one of the hardest, you know, aside from doing that inner work. But being willing, this is hard for people, being willing to take the information that you gathered, sit with that, and allow yourself to acknowledge and accept the things in your life that are no longer serving you any good. Things in your life that need to be removed. You know, people, circumstances, experiences, places, all these different things, you know, habits, whatever. You know, things serve their purpose as they should, when they should, you know, but not everything in life is forever. And a lot of things are here just for a season and a reason, you know. So what we tend to do is we tend to get comfortable with things or with people or with habits or behaviors, and we feel like, you know, we know what to expect from those things or from those people. You know, we know what to expect from ourselves. You know, there's nothing to fear when you're comfortable. So a lot of times we just hold on to those things even though we've already surpassed them, or they no longer serve any purpose for us, or they're no longer a healthy or beneficial part of your life. We tend to hold on to them because we're comfortable there. Allow yourself to get unfucking comfortable, because you won't grow in your comfort zone. If you're comfortable, nothing's changing. That means you're doing what you're always doing because you're comfortable. Growth and change brings, like, a growth spurt is going to bring, like, you know, body aches and stuff, like your bones are stretching and you're, you know, whatever. It's the same exact thing with your soul. Allow yourself to nurture it and allow yourself to go through those growing pains, okay? So you have to accept, and it's not that things have to be left in a bad note or whatever, you know what I mean? Especially if it's people, you know, or something like that need to be removed from your life. You know, be thankful and grateful for the purpose that they served. It's no hard feelings, you know, but yeah, at some point you guys go different directions, or, you know, it's not really, you know, if they're not adding to, like Kyrie always says, rest in peace, they're fucking taken away from. Because that's true. You can't be just stagnant in my life. We're going to grow together. We're going to encourage each other. We're going to push and motivate each other to be better people. Or what the fuck else are we doing together? Like it has to make sense. If you're just here just to shoot the shit, then hey, I ain't got no shit to shoot. So I'm just like, it's been real, you know. That can be the hardest part, though. You know, really allowing yourself to take a chance to make room for the things that you actually deserve. Imagine that, making room for the things you actually deserve, not taking your baggage and all of your negative or toxic energies of your past or the old you into your new life. Because if you do that, you're kind of defeating the purpose there. So allowing that knowledge and that inner wisdom and that, you know, that inner truth to be a transformative power, to be put to use, you know, in this process. Allow yourself to reflect and be willing to remove your life of all of the old things that don't need to be there anymore. Do that shadow work. Allow yourself to get real with yourself. This is a one-person job. This is a you thing. This doesn't have nothing to do with anybody around you. It has nothing to do with other people's opinions. None of that fucking matters. You're the only one living your life at the end of the day. So you're going to live that shit or you're going to live that shit. You feel me? You know, allow your fears to surface. Allow your worries and your concerns to come up. Address those things, you know. Address those things. If you have certain people or things in your life that you have as comfort, or that aren't serving you good, but you know what to expect. Allow yourself to be prepared. Have a plan. So say you're getting rid of old habits or something. If you know that certain things trigger you, have a backup plan. Have a replacement. What are you going to do when you feel triggered to where you want to go back to those toxic people or those maladaptive ways? Okay. Let yourself feel it, deal with it, so you can heal it. It's necessary. You don't want to go into your new life with all these wounds that are just bandaged up, and and the scabs are going to peel off and bleed again. You don't want to do that. Allow yourself to just constantly remind yourself, one, that you deserve to be the best version of yourself, that you deserve to have the life that you would like to have. Remember that what you're leaving behind, as tough as it may seem to let go, the things that you're leaving behind are nothing compared to the life that you're creating for yourself. Keep that at the front of your mind. The life that you are creating and manifesting and working towards is going to be mind-blowingly amazing and beautiful, and everything that you've ever wanted. That stuff that you're leaving behind will be nothing in comparison. It'll be worth it. What's worth having is worth working for and putting in the time and effort. You're worth that, right? Now, the next thing I'm going to say is intention. It's really important to ground everything that you do in your life with intention. Because if you're not moving with intention, thinking, talking, moving, acting, whatever, in intention, then what are you doing but wasting your time, people's time in your life? There's a reason for everything. People don't just do shit just to do shit. Even if they think they do, no, subconsciously, unconsciously, whatever, it's a reason for everything that is. Stop doing shit just to do shit. Think before you do things. Everything in life is cause and effect. Scientifically proven. So, what is the reason you're doing this? And what's going to happen when I do this? And what are going to be the outcomes and the possibilities that is going to happen if I do this? And is that going to be good or is that going to be bad? And do I need that or do I want that? It's another thing. Breaking down and understanding your wants, your needs. What's good for you and what's not good for you. A lot of times we want things that aren't really good for our lives. And that's okay. That's natural. At the end of the day, you're in charge. And it's your life. Live it to its fullest and with intention. Be the best version of yourself and work at being an amazing person every day, because no one can be any more amazing at being you than you. And so run that shit. You know what I mean? Why be miserable? Why be unhappy? We are in control of our state of being. We are in control of our reality. We have the power to manifest, to dictate, and change. Don't let someone else be the puppeteer of your life. Don't get lost in translation of all the things that don't fucking matter. Life is too short as the person you are right now. We only get to be this person one time. So run that shit. And you have the ability and the right to do that. So just thought I'd throw that out there. All right then, guys. Stay strong. Say the shit like you are. Bye.